Taurine, 5,000 milligrams per day total, 1,000 milligrams with meals. And I take 100 milligrams zinc glycinate on top of whatever zinc I get from my diet. So let's say I get about 120, 125 milligrams of zinc over the day. It might be excessive, but when you look at my testosterone levels and my semen parameters, it might make sense. All right, so it's a pretty basic diet. Let's be honest. Egg whites, whole eggs, chia seeds with every meal, a little bit of almonds or avocado in the morning. It's usually avocado. Big fat salads in the morning, right? That's green leafy vegetables, tomatoes, cucumbers, some olives, pickles, some horseradish, and bell peppers. That's usually the basic vegetables that I ate. Second meal is either a pre-workout protein shake. I take a gorilla malt nitric maybe once or twice per week before leg day, depending on if I need it. And if I feel that I'm going to have a killer workout, then I want to take that workout a little bit to the next level, but not too much to the point I can't recover from it because, well, anabolic androgenic steroids are not in the picture at the moment. So it's gorilla malt nitric occasionally. I always take essential amino acids. Always take collagen peptides, whether that's from Sports Research or Gorilla Mind, right? I put that together and then adding in a little bit of electrolytes from Gorilla Mind or Himalaya pink salt to help with the pumps. And if I don't go to the gym, so that's the other 3 days of the week, I have some sort of basic chicken meal with some salad, vegetables, and a little bit of fat here and there. Post-workout, I have 300 grams of salmon, and then before bed at 2 a.m. Yes, I go to bed at 4 a.m. Maybe that's also not the correct way to do things because I'm living far outside of my circadian rhythm, and maybe that's also contributing to my not feeling 100% optimized currently. That being said, at 2 a.m. is 300 grams of beef for me with another big fat salad. 2,400 calories, but I might have a little bit more here and there, right? Maybe the fruit that I have post-workout 4 times per week is 300 grams of pineapple and 300 grams of watermelon and maybe 200 grams of blueberry. So I overshoot depending on how hungry I am that day. And obviously on Sunday, this diet is completely off the rails. I might have some egg whites and whole eggs in the morning, have some salads. And then after that, it's basically a seafood diet. That being said, I still make healthy choices when I go out to dinner with my wife or friends, right? Gourmet hamburgers, sushi, some nice Italian food. I try to make sure that I get adequate amounts of protein and that the meals don't contain exorbitant amounts of unhealthy fats. And I might have some cheesecake here and there, right? Or some ice cream because, well, cheesecake and ice cream, that's bae. And besides the diet, with the following supplementation protocol, I more than reach my daily micronutrient requirements. Some of these supplements are for overall health, general well-being. Some of these are specifically in there for fertility or semen volume. So we have a general multivitamin in the morning and evening, vitamin B100 complex, split morning and evening, vitamin C, 5,000 milligrams per day, except on the day I do my intravenous vitamin C administration because I don't need 10,000 milligrams vitamin C, obviously, duh. I take a vitamin D3, 5,000 IUs upon waking, vitamin E, 400 IUs upon waking, and I take the Jarrow Formulas K-Rite complex with 2,000 IUs of vitamin D3, so that's 7,000 IUs D3 in total, 500 micrograms vitamin K1, 1,500 micrograms vitamin K2, MK4, and 180 micrograms vitamin K2, MK7, all combined into a single capsule. I did a calcium score, came back 0, so we're good there. Magnesium glycinate, 1,000 milligrams per day. Selenium, I get about 600 micrograms total daily from dietary sources, so I don't supplement with selenium because I already get enough from my diet. Selenium is very good for semen volume. Taurine, 5,000 milligrams per day total, 1,000 milligrams with meals. And I take 100 milligrams zinc glycinate on top of whatever zinc I get from my diet. So let's say I get about 120, 125 milligrams of zinc over the day. It might be excessive, but when you look at my testosterone levels and my semen parameters, it might make sense. Besides the micronutrients, I take 100 milligrams 5-HTP for sleep quality and overall mood. Apple cider vinegar, 750 milligram tablets with meals to help with digestion. 500 milligrams berberine morning and evening on Sunday when I do go out for cheat meals. I used to take Muscle-Tech Bedator, beta-hydroxy beta-methylbutyrate, HMB-free acid. But I think I ran out about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And ever since I stopped the HMB, I've been getting progressively more and more sore. And now I'm at a point where I'm so sore with the exact same training intensity and the exact same training volume that I think it's making me extremely lethargic and tired. Now, I'm not entirely sure if it's solely due to the H&B that I've been feeling off for the last 2 or 3 weeks, but I think that's the closest correlation that I could pinpoint if I go back down my notes, right? My diet hasn't changed, my training hasn't changed, my performance-enhancing drug intake hasn't changed, and nothing on my over-the-counter supplementation protocol has changed besides removing the H&B. So I already ordered another bottle, and we'll put that to the test. If the H&B addition makes me feel good again, makes me feel energetic, less sore, less fatigued, and less, let's say, unmotivated at times, then H&B is a viable option to run alongside whatever else that I'm doing to keep me somewhat going. I introduced D-Chiro-Inositol to see if it can potentially increase testosterone levels, but also lower serum estradiol levels, which didn't really seem to happen. The scientific evidence shows that 1,000 milligrams D-Chiro-Inositol can actually inhibit or downregulate aromatase enzyme activity and thus increase testosterone levels in otherwise androgen deficient men. I'll link the studies down below. I got this idea from Andrew Huberman, who discussed D-Chiro-Inositol and myo-inositol in the context of improving male and female fertility in one of his fertility podcasts. I'll link it down below with the correct timestamp. So I did some research and I put my wife on 2,000 milligrams myo-inositol plus 50 milligrams D-Chiro-Inositol. And after doing some additional research, I started with 500 milligrams D-Chiro-Inositol for myself, albeit that the scientific evidence shows that I might need to double that to 1,000 milligrams. I might do that or not, depending on how I feel and how everything falls into place, fingers crossed, over the next couple of weeks. I take 800 milligrams fish oil with every single meal, so that's 5 times per day. I get L-lysine, 2,500 milligrams total daily from dietary sources, also good for semen volume, so you don't need to supplement with that, right? 2,500 milligrams of lysine is way more than you would otherwise recommend for supplemental intake to improve semen volume. 1,000 milligrams N-acetylcysteine twice per day, morning and evening. Nicotinamide mononucleotide, 175 milligrams with meals to sustain my NAD+ levels, which I inject intravenously on Monday. 28 milligrams saffron extract, 100 milligrams ubiquinol morning and evening, and 200 to 400 milligrams ubiquinol pre-workout. So that could be anywhere between 200 milligrams to 600 milligrams ubiquinol per day. Ubiquinol is very good for fertility parameters, so I'm really on top of that. And then depending on my workload, I might just take a scoop of Gorilla-Mind Respawn or make a homemade cocktail of a combination of L-tyrosine, L-tryptophan, alpha-GPC, uridine 5-monophosphate, and some caffeine here and there to stay cognitive and productive for the next couple of hours, like I discussed in the Entrepreneur Nootropic Deep Dive video series. This is my current split. Monday, I do push day, so that's chest, shoulders, and triceps. On Tuesday, I do legs A, so that's quads, adductors, and calves. Wednesday is a rest day. Thursday is pull day, back, rear delts, biceps, and traps. And Friday is legs B, workout, hamstrings, adductors, glutes, and calves. On Saturday and Sunday, I also rest. So that's 4 workouts per week. Somewhat intense, but not super intense. I do about 3 or 4 exercises per body part, sometimes only 2, right? It really depends on how I feel and if I feel that I need to work extra hard to sustain the body part in a respectable shape compared to all of the other body parts, whereas some other body parts are so easy to maintain. I literally only need 2 exercises and 1 working set per exercise to get the job done. I mean, these biceps, that's 2 or 3 sets per week. Yeah, it's insane, but that's genetics, baby. Okay. Moving over to the blood work results, which is one of the reasons why you came here for, to see how bad or how good my blood work is now after 10 months of being off the juice.